Right, our next thing is there's a little plastic cover here, and that goes over this mechanism here, just like that. And there's a couple of screws top and bottom. Pretty simple. I'll get that popped in right now. That's basically your safety lever. Got a little bit of slop in it, but to be expected, I suppose. Righto, next bit is this little cover, which just clips on up the top with two hooks that go through the top of the plate there, and there's a couple of nylock nuts at the top. And then the plate, this strip actually runs down inside there, and then it's got to get attached to the bottom, but you can't do it, and obviously, until you raise this section up so you can get behind it. Anyway, it's probably like a bit of a dust cover. I'm not really sure what it's for, but make it look good, I suppose. Anyway, that's the next bit. And then after that, now we've got another little trip sensor we've got to put in here on the side. And that comes in its own little box, and there's a little mounting plate. And we'll, bit of Chinese again. And here's a little unit here. That's an optical switch right there. A bit of focus. Yep, so we'll get that one mounted in on the side there and keep moving along. Okay, so there's the optical switch mounted. I just added a little bit of extra conduit here to protect the wire on the outside. That's going to run up the inside here on a track all the way up there. And then at the front here, you've got a little sensor right there, so that's going to pick up when the lift goes up and down. Cool, on to the next job. Okay, so we're up to getting the wiring done. Pretty self-explanatory. You've got your wiring diagram here in the manual, and you're pretty much just following what inputs are coming in to the circuit board there, and you're screwing them in. So basically I'm just starting off with a limiter switch, which is coming from the top of the hoist, and that goes into 3 and 5 right here, and it gives you actually the little pins on here have got numbers on them, so can't really stuff it up. Anyway, that one's wired in. Next we're going to go with the sensor at the bottom of the hoist, which has got 3 terminals here, and again they're all numbered. You've got these little yellow tags here. You can see here there's 1, 2 and 0, and again we put them through the port here and put them into their respective spots where they need to go. Cool, so we'll keep going with that. Righto guys, so this is the last mechanical bit, or one of the last bits. Just had to put that bracket, this guy here in. There's a hex head bolt that runs through there into this bung here. Did have a bit of junk in the that I had to re-tap it, just the powder coating on a lot of these threads. You need to be careful and clean them out. Anyway, that bit's done. Put a rod through here which holds this guy in, and just shimmed those a little bit better. They were a little bit loose on these points, so I just added some extra washers to take up the slack, so not as floppy. But that's that part done. Come back and have a look. You can see how it pretty much works like a pallet jack. Pump it up. Have to go and get some hydraulic fluid for it, and also there's a couple of wires that I'm not 100% sure of. They don't really go into it on the manual too well, so I'll have to just double check those before I continue. But and I've got the arms to bolt onto the side, and then we'll be ready to whack a have to go and get a plug for it. Didn't come with a plug, which is a bit of a bummer. But yeah, go and get a plug and get some power to it, and yeah, ready to fire it up. Cool. Righto guys, so we're just putting the arms into it off the sides. Bit of a tight fit with all the powder coating that's stuck inside there, so you do need to do a little bit of cleaning up. These little tabs here, you need to just grind the powder coat off. I couldn't get this arm in at all, so I just have to clean them up a bit, and then you can slide it in and out. So we'll just get onto that now. Righto guys, this is the pallet jack section. I'll just show you how this arm works. You've got the lever right here, and what you basically do is you flick it all the way down, and then you can actually pump the unit, and the bottom plate of the hoist will actually start coming off the ground, if you see. And once it comes off the ground, if you need to move it, you can actually pop this back to the central position, and then now this is just in sort of like a freelance mode. Now you can grab it and you can pull it around your workshop, wherever you need to store it, or push it under a car. Once you've got it in position and you want to jack up the vehicle, pop it back up, and you can actually just squeeze it, and then it'll come down. And then that's it, it's bottomed out. Once it's bottomed out, you can just leave it in that position there. It's not going to pump now. You can just leave that there. Obviously the next thing you'll be doing is getting your feet in the jacking point areas. Now on this 62 combi I've got here, I've just got these little guys about the same height all the way around. This is just off the back axle torsion tube. And then on the front, I've just put it onto the factory jacking point right there for this one here. And again, they're all about a hand width thickness. I've actually set up the other sides as well. And once you're ready to go, then you can come over to the console. You can actually turn her on. You'll get a light coming on there to say that we're all active. And then you've got your up and down switch. So if we'll just actually set this up on a tripod and put it back for you, and then we'll go from there. Righto guys, so we'll just pop up the combi to a couple of different heights for you, just to show you. So we'll just hit the up button. So what happens now is, once it's actually up to a spot where you want to keep it, and I'll just take your camera here off the tripod, what you need to do is drop it back down until this lever goes hard. So I'll just show you. You'll watch the lever. That's it. So now you'll see this goes solid, and it's actually now sitting on the peg inside in the safety position. So that's pretty important. You don't want it just sitting on the hydraulic fluid itself. So that's now down as much as it'll go. If you want to release it and get the vehicle back on the ground, what you need to do is take it up slightly, and this will loosen this off. So we'll just do that now. And that's enough, and you can see now this has gone into the closed position. And then now we can actually just hold this guy and the down button, and it will actually start going down. So I'll just go and put the camera back on the tripod. Hang on. Okay, so here we go. We'll just do that. Push the button in and down. Now once it gets to this point here, this is 300mm off the ground, it's going to stop, and it won't go any further until you do this button on the side here, and this is just a safety switch. It'll set an alarm off as well. So you actually push the bar in, press the side button and the down. And you're back down on the ground, and everything is good to go. So that's just a safety. Last 300mm, you've got to do the 3 at the one time. That's about it for the review of the Classic Lift. A really good product. I think if you've got limited space, and you can see with my setup here, I don't have a great deal of room, so I can move that jack off to the side, and you know, when I need to work on these combis, I can get them up in the air and work on them, and safely as well. I think the only other thing I didn't show in the install was this cover plate for the wires, and you can see there's just a couple of screws down here. But, quite self-explanatory how that works. And it's just covering all the wires, so they'll run down. There's a hydraulic one at the bottom, and then obviously these ones running into the box. As I said earlier, if you're not confident, obviously, hooking this up, you probably should get an electrician to do it. But yeah, you do need to add obviously a plug to it, and you know, finish off the wiring inside to make it work, and buy hydraulic fluid as well. Yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. Yeah, definitely worth the money, and hit the guys up at Classic Lift Australia, because yeah, they've got a good product here if this is the right sort of hoist for you. Cheers.